Hello, this is Scotty O
And I'm Melanie.
with ecstatichearts.com. Welcome to our discussion on romance and love. We are in beautiful Topanga Canyon in Los Angeles with our friend who's got a beautiful property here. We apologize, by the way, for being out of touch. We've been at Burning Man and then the national parks and California Tantra Festival. I did not really have access to internet and phone to reach out to you guys, so I know we're behind on our videos, but here it is, love and romance, and we'll be back on our regular schedule here moving forward, except for a cruise next week. But anyway, so we'll talk to you when we can. All right, so the topic today is romance and love. So, gosh, let's start. What is love, honey? What does love mean to you? And I guess we're talking about romantic, sexy love.
I'd really love to hear your definition first, baby.
Okay, let's see. So to me, when I'm thinking of like the ultimate form of love, I mean, there's different levels of love. Like you can be lovingly connected or like with a friend or with your pet and so forth. But what I'm talking about is romantic love, like that really juicy, like when you know you have something special with someone. And to me, it actually incorporates a lot of things. Like for me, true love, if you will, incorporates, first of all, there's a chemical attraction, right? You have an energetic personality, a physical connection of sorts that you're attracted to each other. There's also got to be respect and friendship, like trust, relationships, and so and some reciprocity. So like they also trust and like and are friends with you. So to me, it's like a best friend that also has like a romantic connection. Also, compatibility, I think, is overlooked sometimes. It's like, you can really be in love with someone, but you might not be able to live together for whatever reason. And so, having that compatibility where you can live together and work with each other is good. I also think sometimes there's a little bit of excitement and dynamic tension with compatibility, like complementary types of things. That's probably not necessary for love, but that's something we have, is that we complement each other, and we have like the masculine feminine dynamic, so that polarity adds some excitement and verve, so to speak.
Yeah.
Also the desire to have the same goals, long-term goals, like, do you want kids? What are your financial agreements? What are your values? Those are the three biggest reasons that people break up, and a lot of times people get swept away with the emotion of love and so forth without ever looking at, are we a long-term fit for each other? Do we have the same goals in mind and so forth? And luckily most people, many people grow together or they have the same goals. I think a problem with some younger relationships is that they get together and then they grow in different ways, and so the relationship just naturally changes what they want. And I think the last thing for me is really the highest form of compassion, inclusivity, joy, like selfless love. Like there's an unconditional aspect of it, is that if you're loving with the intention of getting something back, or you're loving someone because you want to be loved, I think that is not the ideal form. And that for me is like when you really love someone, when your sense of self kind of disintegrates and like you care about the other person's desires and wants as much as you care about your own. If you care about them more than yourself, then that can be detrimental to yourself. But if I think of this as almost like a unit, or I want you to be as happy as I am, and when you're unhappy, I'm unhappy, and so there's almost like a union of sorts. And when I can unconditionally love someone, especially this one, then the world's a happy place, and I have no expectations or requests and reciprocation. So anyway, that's my long-winded, my definition of love. What would you like to add to that?
All right. I'll just go over my view of love as we're talking about romantic love. Romantic love is a feeling, and oftentimes it starts with those gushy feelings of attraction. Attraction helps to tell us who to pay attention to. And it's this warm feeling in my chest and radiating out my heart. And love, for long-term relationships, it is important to be compatible and to be best friends if you're wanting to be in a long-term, loving, romantic relationship. and to have similar values and to want similar things out of life if you're going to be joined together, living life together. And yeah, loving your partner wholly is like really important. Like loving everything about your partner and knowing that your partner is exactly who they are, and it's not your job to change them, and to love and accept them for exactly whom they are.
That's a trap.
And they may change, they may grow because that's human nature, or they may not. And just remember, you need to love the person for who they are, not who you want them to be.
Yeah, I see a trap often where someone's like, oh, he'll be just perfect when I fix him. Or if, I can be that person for her that's going to help her heal and grow and blah, blah. When you think that you're going to be the white knight and save them and change them, most people don't want to be changed or don't feel that they need to be. And that puts there's something wrong with the relationship already into the mix, which can kind of get in the way. So yeah, unconditional love means accepting exactly the way they are.
So a Tantra practice of putting that into a practice on a daily basis of loving and accepting each other for who they are is actually looking into each other's eyes, breathing together up into the heart, and saying, I love and accept you for exactly the way you are.
Just take a minute, take that in. And I love and accept you exactly the way you are.
And then express at least 3 things of gratitude for your partner.
I'd say at least one. We do at least one a day, but 3 is great. But a new one each day. And that way you kind of build. Look for new things. So you do 3 things? Okay. I'm ready.
I appreciate how you've got such great driving endurance and how you can drive me around everywhere and take care of traffic and figuring out how to get to places so that I don't have to stress and worry about how to do all that. I appreciate how you always like to touch me and caress me and cuddle with me. I appreciate how you're always thinking about me and thinking about where I might like to eat and taking my needs and desires into consideration all the time.
I love and appreciate your sense of style and how you're always aware of what needs to be pretty or making the world a more beautiful place. I appreciate how connected and present you are, about how you have very little stress and how you're always like in the moment and don't worry about time and so forth, even though sometimes it bothers me too. And I love that you love me and that you have genuine joy and excitement and passion in life, which is rare to find someone that's so happy and zestful about life. So, we recommend you do this every day. Like, you can do one thing or 3 things that you're grateful for in yourself, in your life, in your lover. But if you're really focusing on this and doing gratitude to your lover, the cool thing about that is that it actually focuses your brain on what you love about the person versus all the things that you can't stand. A lot of things that happen with relationships is our brain tends to focus on what we don't like, what's wrong, what's missing. And we can get into a pattern and habit and spin out on this stuff, and it doesn't do either of you any good. But if you focus on what's working and what's amazing and what's great and continue to look for new ways to re-fall in love with your partner and new things to appreciate about the person, it actually makes me appreciate her more and more and more every day. And so it's a great practice. So how to find the love of your life. If you don't have one, my biggest suggestion is to write it down. So here's an exercise for you guys. And if you already have a relationship, but you don't necessarily have the ideal relationship, or it's not in the space or as connected as you want, or whatever it is, you can do the same exercise. So what I want you to do is go and take out a sheet of paper, and if you're watching this video, go ahead and pause. Push the pause button. I want you to actually do this with us, and get a piece of paper and a pencil or pen or something. And then when you're back, then what you want to do is, first of all, write down all the things you hate about the opposite sex, or about dating, or what you don't like in your previous lovers, and just like vent. So go ahead and pause now, and just write that. Just put down all the things you don't want in a relationship. That's usually easier for people to do, and all the things you don't like. Okay, now anything else? So now that you're back, what I want you to do is look over that list and see if you can turn that into positive things. Like, for instance, if you don't like someone who's late, you can say someone who's punctual. Because the brain doesn't understand negative stuff. So if you say, I don't want something negative, all the brain's going to do is reinforce that. What we resist persists. So just turn it into something positive, things you do want. And now think about all the things you really want in relationships, things that move you, that inspire you, that you really, I think, that are key things that you want in a relationship. And it could be looks, it could be their value system, it could be just the way they smell. I mean, it could be anything at all. So whatever floats your boat, and really do this. Like, push the button, pause the button now, and take like at least 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it takes, to really just dream and brainstorm and so forth. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, so Scott actually had a vision board for me and had the whole list written out, and also had pictures along with it, images.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second, but go ahead and write down the list. Push pause now, write down, and just brainstorm about all the things you want. Go. Okay, welcome back. Now that you've got a list, what I recommend is kind of honing it, like putting down, this is what Melanie was talking to, is like get it down to, I don't know, top 10, top 20, and make sure that the really key important things. Some people like to have like deal killers versus nice to have. I think I was more of an idealist, and I just said I want it all. I don't like it, it's like, but for instance, like a deal killer would be something like is dysfunctional in relationships, or doesn't have like a good emotional intelligence or something. Whereas a nice to have would be she likes to dance freestyle or something. So you can separate that that way if you want, or you just say these are what I want, and I'm not settling for anything less, but these are the key things that I want. And so if it's something like he has to be over 6'6" or something, think about, is it okay if he's 6'7"? So take a look too at your list and make sure that you aren't artificially eliminating people for reasons that aren't really that significant. So make sure that whatever's on your list is really what's important to you. Any honing tips? Okay, so do that now. Pause. Welcome back. So now we're going to talk about vision board. You want to continue with what you were saying there with pictures?
Yeah, so the vision board is a visual to help you manifest and bring this in, and to like write your list out on it, and to illustrate your list with pictures so that you can visually visualize what you're looking for. And our brain really understands pictures so much better than it understands words whenever we're manifesting. So it's a really great tool to like meditate upon and get a good visual idea about what you're looking for. And the more that you know what you're looking for, the more your brain's going to start recognizing and seeing what you're looking for. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know what you're looking for. You can't find what you're looking for if you don't know what it is. So this really helps to like get more concrete and to put it into your brain who you want and what traits you're looking for in a significant partner.
And this is not just, woo-woo, this is science. Like the reticular activator part of your brain is the part of that determines what you're going to focus on, because we are bombarded. We get more information on reading the daily paper than someone in the medieval days that could read had in their entire lifetime. We are bombarded with millions and millions or billions of bits of information, far too many for us to process. And so the brain's job is to say, okay, what am I going to focus on and what am I going to pay attention to? And so you literally could have 100 people pass by that are your ideal mate, and you will not even see them, or you won't look at the opportunity and so forth, because your brain is thinking about other things or focusing on work or stress or whatever. And so, and I actually had to train myself when I was in corporate America to, like, okay, focus on noticing attractive women and then asking them out, and then, like, I would actually play a little game with myself and give myself check marks whenever I asked someone out, and and train myself to notice and so forth. But then the point is that when you get focused on exactly what you want, then your brain will start noticing it. And if you look at The Secret and so forth, or this is also in Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill, and like all the most successful people do this, is that when you have intention and you get your emotional desires tied up with it or connected to it, and then if you juice your sexual energy and you focus that on it, that's real power. That's what makes Tantra so powerful. You can, like, create your intentions, whatever they are. And so for this context, we're talking about manifesting and attracting. The metaphysics is also proving that our brain is not just an interpreter of reality, but it's a creator of reality, that it actually manifests things. We are divine. We have divine energy within us, so you can actually create and manifest and summon that person into your life. So the way to do that is, when you have a vision board, you just take photos that inspire you, that call to you, and you post them on a poster, and I actually put my list within my vision board. And then every morning when I wake up, or when you go to sleep, just look at the list with your little meditation. Just read the list out loud. Those are good times, because you're kind of half asleep, half awake, so it directly speaks to your subconscious. And then and just see what happens. Both Melanie and I had lists, and we got exactly everything on our lists in each other. When other people said, "Oh, you're crazy, you can't find someone that amazing," and so forth, we did. And so we highly recommend that. And if you are in a relationship with someone, but you want to be more juicy or loving or tantric or whatever, you can put that down and focus on that and have a conversation about it, But the more excited you are about something, the more passionate you are, the more energy you have to attract that into your life.
Well, how about we talk about romance now for a few minutes?
Okay, great. So how do you create more romance, assuming you have the love of your life?
Or any partner, really?
Or anyone. How do you create more romance? How do you keep relationships juicy? How do you make them special so they want to go out with you again? What are your suggestions on romance?
All right. Well, one of the suggestions on romance is be present with your partner. Nothing is sexier and more romantic than being fully present with your partner and giving them your full, undivided attention. So that's a big tip on romance. You can make anything and everything juicy and romantic just by being fully present and attentive with your partner.
And think about that. When's the last time you went out with someone and they're like on their phone and only halfway paying attention to you? That does not make most people feel connected and loved and appreciated and so forth. So put the cell phones down, put the book down, whatever, and when you're picking a date, go somewhere where you can really pay attention to each other. I mean, a lot of people go to movies and so forth. I love movies. I think they're great. And if it's like a first date, or you're trying to make an impression or get to know the person, it's better to go for a walk. It's better to go somewhere in nature where, all you have to do is talk, or, you don't have other distractions, but you can go anywhere, and, any restaurant, picnic, you can make it fun and exciting, but the less distractions you have and the more you can be with just each other and focus on each other, then the more romantic it is. What other suggestions do you have, Hen?
Do something new together. New things are always exciting and juicy and romantic, so getting out and doing something new, even if it's something simple like eating at a new restaurant, or at least taking your partner to a new restaurant they haven't been to, or going for a walk somewhere you haven't gone. At least introducing one of yourselves to something new, if not both of you doing something new, is totally romantic.
Oh yeah. There's a great video called Happiness on Netflix, which talks about the study of what makes people happy, and community is one of them. Newness is one of them. So just bringing newness into your life and into your partner's life keeps things fresh and exciting and so forth. And another tip too is do something actually physically exciting or stimulating. Like, if you go back to movies, if you do go to a movie, some people, I'm not really into horror movies, but some people, by doing something scary that gets their adrenaline going, or what I prefer is something like more physical, like go on a hike together, or we even did like sword fighting or something, or laser tag or something that really gets your juices going, excitement, and then you associate, your body associates excitement with your partner.
Yeah.
And so that's a nice technique, especially for a first date, to really make it something special. Or go like indoor skydiving or something, a little crazy, whatever you both are willing to do.
Yeah, I totally love that one, because for me, physical excitement of doing an exciting activity correlates to sexual excitement for me. So it's the same kind of excitement juices going. So whenever we're doing something exciting and thrilling together, it also turns me on and makes me think exciting thoughts about my partner. So exciting examples. He said indoor skydiving. We want to do that. Still haven't done that yet.
We've done
like
outdoor skydiving,
rock climbing, bowling, horseback riding, anything that's exciting to you. It doesn't have to be like super thrilling. We
romance
like thrilling.
in public. That's an edgy one for some people, but even
dancing. That's a great one.
Public display. Yeah, dancing is great. Public displays of affection are, I think, powerful too, if you're willing to do that, because there's a little element of, we're going to get caught and so forth. And so whatever level of affection you want to do is up to you. Be careful doing something illegal, but that's a ton too. And then you're also dancing. I mean, something that involves touch and connection is really powerful. Like dancing is amazing, because you've got that you're already sharing energy, you're being intimate, you're being touching without necessarily being sexual. So it's a great place to meet people too that you want to date.
Dancing is totally one of my top favorite romantic activities, so take note. Dancing rocks, and it can be any style of dancing.
Anytime.
So it can be free form, you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're just out there moving your
polka
body to
or line
music. It can be a partner dance, social dance.
I like blues and
Personally,
Latin myself.
Yes, I love any kind of dancing that's nice and up close, because I like to get close. So that's a romantic tip for you.
And if they're willing, like a nice technique I like is massage. If you know how to do massage, or even if you don't, giving your partner a massage, and again, whatever level of intimacy you're both willing to do, is a great step for building intimacy and connection and so forth. And then physical activities too, like swimming is good. Going back to thrilling activities, we have like Hippie Hollow, which is a nude beach, which can add its own level of stimulation, if they're really willing to have a little bit of fear or whatever, but find out what your comfort zone is and see if you can push or stretch it. Find out what your partner's comfort zone is, what's a little edgy for them, and it just makes it more exciting. You'll both grow and learn together as well, which is, I think half the fun, because growth is another key element of happiness when we're learning and expanding.
Yeah. Another great thing that touches these other two tips we've said is take a trip together.
Yeah.
Traveling is new, it's exciting, it gives you time to spend with just each other, being totally present with each other, away from the distractions of work and everyday life. So it's wonderful, even if you can only take like a weekend getaway or a day trip or a longer exotic vacation. Any kind of travel is totally stimulating and exciting and great for romance.
It's also like, it will tell you real quick how well you get along with each other. It's like if you aren't sure where the relationship's going on a vacation together is a great test, especially if you do something like camping or something. We like camping just because we're out in nature. That's another big one too. The more you're out in nature, I think that's romantic in and of itself. So just getting outdoors, fresh air, connecting with the wonderful world around us is great. And the nice thing too about camping, if they aren't used to camping, there's a lot of people have a little bit of fear of it's subconscious, but like being outdoors with animals and darkness. So there's that extra excitement. And then there's the working together to like set up the tent and pack up and everything else, which helps like see how well you get along.
Teamwork, cooperation,
doing stuff. So I think camping can be cool, and you can do that in your backyard. And as crazy as it is, sometimes a little bit of craziness adds some fun to your relationship too. So you can make ordinary things change it up. Say, hey, let's go camping in my backyard tonight. Or let's have dinner outdoors, and you like set up or a picnic or something. You know, you can even have like special dates where you have your friends come and volunteer to be like your wait staff or something to make it special, or just to do something a little different to make things more interesting is a powerful way to add spice to your dates. Oh, and the most important thing is, if you're in a relationship already, make time to do the date. We still struggle with this one too, because I mean, it feels like we're always on a date. But you want to make special time where it's like, okay, we're gonna have special you and me time with no kids, with no distractions, no talking to our parents, no work, no business talk. We're just gonna be romantic, and we're gonna try to make it like special. And you do it once a week, once a month, but I'd say at least once a month. Have like at least 2 hours where you can really be romantic. And then the nice thing too about that is like setting the space and like having candles or roses, so that something that's different than the norm to just show that you care about and you're appreciating and doing something special for your partner.
I like date night. I want date night every night.
I know. I want more date nights, and we're working towards getting there. So we live a lifestyle where I feel like we're on a date right now, even though we're working. But so those are some romantic tips. Any other suggestions on romance you can think of?
No, I think those are some great tips. So try implementing those into your life, or just start implementing those into your life and see how it goes.
So just a quick recap. Love, it's really up to you, whatever it is that makes you feel what you want. But the way to get it is make a list, specifically what you want, do a vision board, and then ways to do romance are, we've listed a lot of them, but nature, something new, being present, doing something exciting, what were the other ones? I don't know. Come back and watch the video again.
Have we mentioned Tantra?
Oh, Tantra. Tantra is the best way to connect more deeply and create interest in your life. I just got to say, we've been married now for about 9 years, and we have had these experiences like, oh my God, this is the best love of our life. This is so amazing. I didn't think love and sex could get this great. And then like a month later or so, it's like, it gets better. And it's like going to be this continuous roller coaster of, not roller coaster, it's ups and downs. It continues to get better. So by all means, do Tantra, because it will add excitement and passion and zest to your life. And it's something new, it's something exciting, it's always changing, always growing. You will learn and grow and expand. You'll become more intimate, more sexy. You'll learn new skills. And it makes love making so much more profound, so much more deep, so much more exciting and long lasting. Tantra is the best way I know of to really make your relationship romantic and ever growing and expanding and just really amazing. So
you can learn some more about it on online courses, or by going to an actual workshop together with your partner.
Yes, so ecstatichearts.com is our website. And if you want to learn more ways to connect more deeply, we have a workshop coming up at the end of October called Celebrating Sacred Sexuality, where our Tantra teachers that they're like 70 and 80 something. They've been doing this for 30 years. They are really experts in building communication, relationships, and so forth. They're amazing. They're going to be coming teaching for a weekend. And then we have our workshop the week following, the first week in November, called Sexual Empowerment. So if you want to get sexier or attract the person of your dreams, or really own your self-love and your self-worth, and learn some kind of tantric techniques that are going to enable you to have a more powerful life, then we really highly recommend it. So both those things are there. You come to ecstatichearts.com. In fact, we have a discount. I think they're both $100 off, and if you do them both together, you save another $200. So if you do both before 9:30, September 30th, which is just a few days from now, I think it's like $795 or something like that, which is really crazy low price. I mean, the comparable stuff is like $2,000 each. We're making it as low costs as we can, because we really want to get as many people here to have access to the stuff that can really transform your life in amazing ways. So check out ecstatichearts.com, or if not, just stay in tune with us, and we'll continue to give you free tips and lessons, and hope to see you in person and connect more deeply. So that's all we got tonight. Romance and love. Anything else you want to say?
Until next time.
Scotty and Melanie, ecstatic hearts.